Imagine a battle lasting longer than any other in human memory. A struggle for land, faith, and identity spanning generations. This was the Reconquista, a 721-year conflict that shaped the destiny of the Iberian Peninsula. From the Pyrenees Mountains to the shores of the Mediterranean, Muslim and Christian armies clashed in a relentless dance of conquest and reconquest. In the year 711 CE, the armies of the Islamic Umayyad Caliphate, led by Tariq ibn Ziyad, crossed the Strait of Gibraltar. They landed on the Iberian Peninsula, a land then ruled by the Visigothic kingdom. The Visigoths, a Germanic people who had embraced Christianity, were ill-prepared for the ferocity of the Muslim onslaught. Their kingdom, weakened by internal strife, crumbled within a matter of years. The Umayyad conquest was swift and decisive. By 720 CE, most of the Iberian Peninsula was under Muslim control. The conquerors, who came to be known as Moors, a broad term encompassing Arabs and Berbers, established a new society in Al-Andalus, as they called their Iberian domain. Cordoba, once a provincial Roman town, was transformed into a vibrant center of Islamic learning and culture. The triumph of the Umayyads seemed complete. Yet, in the northernmost reaches of the peninsula, a spirit of resistance flickered. In the rugged mountains of Asturias, a Visigothic nobleman named Pelastus refused to bow to the invaders. He rallied a small band of Christian warriors, and in 722 CE, at the Battle of Covadonga, dealt the Muslims a surprising defeat. The Battle of Covadonga was more than a military skirmish. It was a symbolic victory, a beacon of hope in the face of overwhelming odds. It marked the beginning of the Reconquista, the long struggle to reclaim the Iberian Peninsula for Christendom. Pelastus, later known as Pelayo, became a legendary figure, the father of the Reconquista. From their stronghold in Asturias, the Christian forces began to push southwards, slowly reclaiming territory from the Moors. The early years of the Reconquista were marked by small-scale raids and skirmishes. The Christian kingdoms of the north, fragmented and often at odds with each other, were no match for the might of the Umayyad Caliphate. However, the tide began to turn in the 11th century. The once mighty Caliphate of Cordoba fragmented into a patchwork of smaller kingdoms known as taifas. These taifas, often more concerned with internal rivalries than with resisting the Christian advance, proved easier targets for the Raisi revitalized northern kingdoms. The Christian monarchs, emboldened by their successes, sensed an opportunity to deal a decisive blow to the Moors. From the north, Alfonso VI of Leon and Castile pressed southwards, capturing the strategically important city of Toledo in 1085. The fall of Toledo, once the Visigothic capital, sent shockwaves throughout the Islamic world. In response to the Christian advance, the Taifa rulers appealed for help from their brethren across the Straits of Gibraltar. They turned to the Almoravids, a powerful Berber dynasty from North Africa, known for their military prowess and religious zeal. The arrival of the Almoravids on the Iberian Peninsula in the late 11th century marked a turning point in the Reconquista. The Almoravids, led by Yusuf ibn Tashfin, injected new life into the flagging jihad against the Christian kingdoms. They unified the taifas under their banner and inflicted a crushing defeat on the Castilian forces at the Battle of Sagrejas in 1086. The Christian advance was halted, and the Almoravids reasserted Muslim control over much of the southern Iberian Peninsula. Yet, the Almoravids, despite their early successes, proved unable to stem the Christian tide in the long run. Their rule was marked by religious intolerance and heavy taxation, policies that alienated many of their Muslim subjects. By the mid-12th century, the Almoravid Empire was crumbling under its own weight, taking advantage of Almoravid weakness. A new wave of Berber conquerors, the Almohads, crossed the Straits of Gibraltar in the 12th century. The Almohads, like the Almoravids before them, were successful in uniting the Muslim forces and stemming the Christian tide. They achieved a decisive victory at the Battle of Alarcos in 1195, recapturing much of the territory lost to the Christians. The Reconquista was not simply a clash of civilizations or a religious crusade. It was a complex historical process shaped by political ambition, economic motivations, and personal rivalries. The Christian kingdoms of the north were often as likely to fight amongst themselves as they were against the Moors. Alliances shifted constantly, and marriages were used as political tools to forge alliances or settle disputes. The Reconquista also had a profound impact on the development of the Iberian Peninsula. The constant warfare led to the creation of powerful military orders, such as the Knights Templar and the Knights Hospitaller. These orders, initially founded to protect pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land, played a significant role in the Reconquista, providing much-needed military expertise and manpower to the Christian armies. The Reconquista also spurred the growth of towns and cities. As the Christian armies advanced southwards, they established new settlements and fortified existing ones. These towns and cities, often located on strategic crossroads or near important rivers, attracted merchants, artisans, and settlers eager to take advantage of the new opportunities presented by the expanding Christian territories. No tale from the Reconquista captures the imagination quite like that of Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar, better known as El Cid, from the Arabic Al-Sidi, meaning my lord. A Castilian nobleman and military leader, El Cid's life was a whirlwind of shifting allegiances and battlefield triumphs. El Cid's story straddles the lines between history and legend. He served both Christian and Muslim rulers, demonstrating the fluidity of loyalty in this tumultuous era. His military prowess earned him fame and fortune, but also the suspicion and envy of those he surpassed. Exiled from Castile by King Alfonso VI, El Cid took his sword and his loyal retinue into the service of the Muslim ruler of Zaragoza. He fought against both Christian and Muslim enemies, proving his skill and courage time and again. Despite his service to Moorish kings, El Cid remained a devout Christian, a testament to the complex interplay of faith and pragmatism in this era. His greatest feat was the capture of Valencia in 1094, a city he ruled independently until his death in 1099. El Cid's widow, Jimena, defended the city for another 3 years, a testament to his lasting legacy and the strength of those he inspired. Even today, El Cid remains a national hero in Spain, a symbol of military prowess, cunning, and unwavering loyalty. By the 13th century, the Reconquista had entered its final stage. The Muslim territories in the south were reduced to the Emirate of Granada, a small but wealthy kingdom ruled by the Nasrid dynasty. Granada, with its fertile lands, bustling cities, and sophisticated court, became a refuge for Muslim scholars, artists, and poets fleeing the advancing Christian armies. The Alhambra, a magnificent palace complex overlooking the city of Granada, stands as a testament to the cultural achievements of the Nasrid dynasty. Its intricate tilework, graceful arches, and tranquil gardens reflect a blend of Islamic and Christian artistic influences, a poignant reminder of the cultural exchange that characterized Al-Andalus. The final chapter of the Reconquista was written in the late 15th century. In 1469, the marriage of Isabella I of Castile and Ferdinand II of Aragon united the two most powerful Christian kingdoms in Iberia. Under their joint rule, known as the Catholic monarchs, the stage was set for the final assault on Granada. After a decade of sporadic warfare, the Catholic monarchs laid siege to Granada in 1491. The siege lasted for months, a brutal affair marked by skirmishes, artillery bombardments, and dwindling supplies within the city walls. Finally, on January 2nd, 1492, Muhammad Ostiz, the last Nasrid Sultan of Granada, surrendered the keys of the city to Ferdinand and Isabella. The fall of Granada marked the end of the Reconquista and the beginning of a new era in Spanish history. The Iberian Peninsula, for the first time in centuries, was united under Christian rule. The victory over Granada fueled a wave of national pride and religious fervor, propelling Spain onto the world stage as a major European power. However, the victory was not without its dark side. The Catholic monarchs, determined to create a religiously homogeneous kingdom, embarked on a campaign of forced conversions and expulsions. Jews and Muslims who refused to convert to Christianity were forced to flee their homes, leaving behind their possessions and their heritage. The Inquisition, a powerful institution established by the Catholic monarchs, was tasked with rooting out heresy and ensuring religious orthodoxy. The Inquisition's tribunals, infamous for their use of torture and intimidation, cast a long shadow over Spanish society for centuries to come. The Reconquista, despite its violence and upheaval, was not simply a story of conquest and expulsion. It was also a period of intense cultural exchange and interaction. For centuries, Muslims, Christians, and Jews lived side by side in Al-Andalus, influencing each other's languages, customs, and beliefs. The legacy of this cultural fusion is evident in Spain's architecture, music, cuisine, and language. Moorish influences can be seen in the graceful arches and intricate tilework of buildings like the Alhambra, the Mezquita in Cordoba, and the Alcázar in Seville. Arabic words and phrases have found their way into the Spanish language, a testament to the enduring legacy of Al-Andalus. The Reconquista also played a role in shaping Spain's national identity. The centuries-long struggle against a common enemy fostered a sense of unity and shared purpose. The values of courage, honor, and religious devotion, celebrated in the ballads and epics of the Reconquista, became ingrained in the Spanish psyche. The Reconquista continues to resonate in Spain today. The historical memory of the conflict, shaped by centuries of myth-making and national narratives, informs debates about immigration, national identity, and the role of religion in society. The legacy of the Reconquista is complex and multifaceted, a reminder that history is not simply a collection of facts, but a living tapestry woven from triumphs and tragedies, conquests and coexistence. The Reconquista serves as a reminder of the enduring power of historical narratives. It underscores the importance of understanding the past in all its complexity, acknowledging both its triumphs and its tragedies. Only by grappling with the legacies of the past can we hope to build a more just and equitable future.